trail. That's very easy. I can hit that. Hi everyone, I'm Mike and welcome to Outdoor Adventuring Gear. Today I'm going to put up a video of 5 of my top tips of when you go stealth camping out in the woods or out in nature, or even probably in some urban settings this might hold true. You all know a lot of the common tips and rules you should follow when you're out doing your stealth camping. You know, dark clothing, wearing gear appropriate for the occasion, all of those things of being stealthy, I'm sure everyone is aware of. But I've got 5 things that I'd like to share with you guys that it's not really on anyone's list, but maybe some people have brushed upon it or talked upon it a little bit. But I wanted to give these in 5 points because they're very important and things you should know about. The first tip up I have to offer is location. Now, I'm sure a lot of other stealth campers such as myself do it by 2 ways. Either through Google Earth, I love that app, or 2, it's by some place that you know, have seen, maybe driving in a car, or maybe a place you grew up when you were younger. Those 2 are great sources of information to find your spots where you want to go stealth camping. But some things, a lot of people don't do it when they're stealth camping, is go check those sites out. I cannot express how things change over time. We all know things grow, things move, things burn, things get changed, human nature steps in. I actually went and checked out a site that I was going to do for one of my next stealth camps, because I've always wanted to stealth camp near railroad tracks. That's just something I've always wanted to do. It's on my list. And the place I had pegged out, which I was familiar with and knew where this area was, and I've seen it on Google Earth, it was clear, I should have been fine. I go there, and what this doesn't show when I got there on the tracks is the elevation drop, and because of the foliage coverage from the satellites, it was covered in bog. I could not camp there. So there's my first tip. When you've picked your spot, go there like a couple weeks, heck, maybe a month earlier, and go check that place out. You know, walk over to it, walk around it. You want to see that it's something that you can do, that you can accomplish. You want to have a good time out there, but you don't want to go out there at a spot you saw and it's actually knee-deep in mud. You can't camp there, although its location looks beautiful. So my first tip is actually go to the site. Go check it out, go peep it out, go look around. And it also helps with line of sight. Sometimes you can see things on the web, and when you get there, you're like, wow, that person can actually see me, when on the web, it didn't look like they could. Or I'm in a line of sight of something right here, I don't want to be seen. My next tip would be to carry things that are relatively packable in a short amount of time. What I'm saying, I hate to phrase it like that, but you don't want to take a tent out there that takes you 5 to 10 minutes to put up and break down. You want to be not only familiar with your equipment, but you want to go there and have something low. If you hear a noise, like if you hear a sound or something, you can scoop up and pack your stuff within a minute. I've actually timed myself on some of my gear to make sure I can pack it up and get it in my bag in a certain amount of time. That's just something I do. I tend to be a little obsessive about those things. Maybe it's my competitive mind I have. This was pretty evident on the last camp I did, where I had to leave the woods, where I had to abandon my campsite when I heard all that noise by my car, all the screaming and stuff. The gear I had with me, I had it packed up in that bag, I swear, within 90 seconds. It didn't take me long to pack all that up, put it away, and stuff it in my bag and get out there and get out of the site and go check on my car. Now, you're going to have gear that you're familiar with that you can pack up relatively quick. I took the chair with me that night, which some people may have a little trouble with, but I can have that thing packed up and wrapped in that bag within probably 20 seconds. Doesn't take me that long. So that's my next tip. Take gear along with you that not only that you're truly expertly familiar with your equipment, you want to be able to make sure that on a whim's notice, if things change, that you can pack it up and get out of there. Because sometimes when you can pack it up and get out of there real quick and not be seen, you can relatively just take your camp, you know, half a mile down the road. That's just one of the things you should be aware of. Take something that's easily packable and you can pack and get in your bag rather quickly. My number 3 tip that I always do, especially when I'm out stealth camping, is I'm not going to bring anything food-wise or drink-wise that, number 1, takes a lot of time to prepare, and 2, which is really the big part of this tip, you don't want to be putting off certain scents and aromas. Now, I'll let everyone on their own decide whether they want to have a fire, because I've been in places where I can have fires. Most likely, a lot of the places I shoot to have a stealth camp, I want to be able to have a fire. I'm not only out there to enjoy it, I'm out there to make it memorable, and a campfire has always been associated with a campsite with me. Now, I have been in areas where I couldn't, and I just went ahead and enjoyed the site and didn't have a fire. But if I can have a campfire, I will. Now, there's a lot of people who stealth camp in urban areas, and you're gonna have to play that out on your own, guys. That's totally in your ballpark. You figure out what you wanna do. I'm not here to preach yes or no to anyone having a campfire. With that being said, I like to have coffee when I'm out on the trail. That's very easy. I can hit that. I can heat that from several sources, which are quick to light and quick to put out, where I don't have to build a campfire if I'm in that type of area. Two, I don't go out on a stealth camp and prepare food. I like to when I'm camping, that's fun, or even if I'm backpacking at sites I'm allowed to be at and cooking and eating. But I'm not going to go out in the woods where I'm stealth camping and I'm lucky enough to have a fire. I'm not going to bust out a skillet and start frying eggs or bacon or things of that nature to draw people into that scent. So that's the other thing. As far as food, I always say make it quick, portable, and non-scenty. You don't want to have a lot of scents. I like to use stealth pockets. There you go. There's a meal for you. I like to use lean pockets or sometimes hot pockets. I'll wrap them in tin foil, freeze them the night before, let them defrost in my bag, and then when I take them out there, they're actually ready to be warmed or heated up. And the tin foil itself not only cooks it, but it keeps the scent in, and that's something I can cook and eat relatively quickly. Now, number 4 is not that big of a tip, but some people don't think about it because you're not, and sometimes in that mindset. You're out there, you're having a great time. It's pretty obvious that you're not going to get caught. You're enjoying your time out in nature. I always, when I'm out stealth camping, I sleep in my clothes. That way, I wake up in the middle of the night, my gear is on. So now I don't sleep in my shoes, but my gear is on and my shoes are ready. So all I really have to do is pop up, put my shoes on, and literally I'm outside the tent within 10 seconds, excuse me, fully dressed. And then it's game on. That's always worked for me. I don't want to be hearing something, or I get caught and then I have to get up and get dressed in front of someone, or I know I got to get out of there at a certain time and I'm wasting time putting on clothes or fumbling or forgot where I put something. I will take an extra shirt sometimes or extra coat, anything of that nature. That's usually just because it gets cold, or I might need it for some other reason, swatting bugs away. Yeah, but I always sleep in my clothes. I don't usually get too hot in my clothes when I'm stealth camping. That doesn't apply a lot to the winter stuff, but usually I found out when I'm stealth camping in deep cold temperatures, there's no one out there but me. On those times when I'm out actually stealth camping in the cold weather, I still keep everything near me, like it's within arm's reach. The extra shirt I had to take off, or the extra wool sweater I took off because I had to sleep. Things of that nature, but they're always in reach. But I'm still sleeping in my clothes. My outfit is still on underneath. That's just the way I think makes everything more expedient when you're out in the woods stealth camping. You have to be able to get to your site in the dark, break down real quick, enjoy your time out in nature, and then if you have to leave in the middle of the night, you can pack up and get out of there real quick. And then in the morning, when you are sometimes really exposed just because of sunlight, you can get your stuff packed up and get out of there real quick. And this is like an extra tip on that last one. When you are out stealth camping, keep everything, even outside your tent, relatively, or your bivvy or your hammock. I usually keep everything, basically what I do is I just stick my arms out. And usually everything I have and need is around me within arm's length. I got my tent here. If I happen to bring a chair, it's here. If I'm lucky enough to have a fire, I'll have the small little fire. It's always keep it small, because that way, number one, you don't want to be seen, and number two, I don't want embers getting on any of my products or my gear. But yeah, I keep everything within that realm because it's fast. You want to be able to grab that stuff and put it away. I don't want to be walking over there in the middle of the night and I put stuff down over there and I was collecting wood and I left it, and then I was over here and I got something on my shirt and I hung my shirt up there to dry. When you're out backpacking and stuff like that, yeah, that's fine out there. But when you're out stealthing, no, everything is within grab's reach of me. And the last tip I want to give everyone out there who has dabbled with stealth camping, even guys who've been doing it for years, even guys who are just starting, and this goes with everyone in every category of where you stealth camp, in the woods or in urban settings, wherever. One of the things you should already be doing right now is preparing to get caught. I know that sounds weird. I know it's a crazy thing. Why would I put that on the list? Because odds are, if you like nature that much and you're out stealth camping and enjoying it and having a good time, you do it enough, you're going to get caught. There's just no way around it. The odds are not forever going to be in your favor. And yes, I've gotten caught, but I already had familiarized myself with that scenario happening. Guys, when you're caught, be polite. You're doing something already in an area you weren't supposed to be doing, and depending on who comes or stumbles across you, whether an authority figure or something like that where you could be charged, be polite. Be nice. You should already be nice because you're out in nature and you should already have those stress levels down, but be nice when you're out there, guys. When I got caught, I treated that guy with respect. He treated me with respect. He gave me ample time to pack my gear up and stuff. Said he actually apologized for interrupting me because he saw that I was just out having a good time. It was my wife and I. He actually saw we were out having a good time. We weren't out there shooting things in the woods or drinking and partying. We were out there just enjoying our time in nature. He saw it and understood, and I understood his job of what he had to do. Being prepared is just expecting someone to roll up on you and be startled. If you want to have a phrase or something, say, look, I'm sorry, I didn't know. I wasn't supposed to be here. I'll pack my things up and I'll get out of here. I'm always prepared. I'm going to get caught. We don't want to prepare for it. Prepare it. Put it on your list. I got this, and yes, I'm going to get caught. What am I going to do? That way, when you are caught one day, if you do it enough, you're polite. You're already familiar with what to do, what to say. Pack your stuff up, shake the person's hand, and then leave. There's always time to have another adventure, guys. You're always going to have a chance. I mean, relatively speaking, you can always go on another adventure. So there you go, guys. There's my 5 tips for stealth camping. Some of them apply to wherever you're going to camp, no matter where it is, and some are just for the woods or those certain areas. But those are my tips I want to offer to you. They've served me well over the years, and follow them, guys, especially this bottom one. It helps. As always, like, share, and subscribe. It does help the channel, and I will be talking to you guys again very soon. I'm out.